talk about my story of my battle with cancer. I am Zoe, and I am a cancer survivor. And at 23 years old, I came down with flu-like symptoms. Was about to go to Europe with my then husband, and came down with flu-like symptoms, and then was bedridden and in excruciating pain. And I was in so much pain that, and I went down to 90 pounds. I did the opposite of when I first got sick. I had CFS, ovarian bleeding, all kind of different things going on. And so a blind man told me that I was going to get well and help a lot of people. He told me to listen to tapes, and I did. Then I went to the Acupressure Institute, School of Chinese Medicine, and I'm learning about different herbs and how to affect the body emotionally, and acupressure and energy and all of that. And then I started traveling around the world to different rainforests with different bush doctors and learning quite a bit. So then I started on the journey of eating plant-based for years, and then recently, flash forward, I'm writing a book about that, so stay tuned for that next year. I went ahead, and now I'm 54 and had tremendous stress, and at 53 came back down with ovarian cancer. Now I'm going to tell you guys, those that have cancer, I pray for you. I do. I pray for you, first of all, because it is a rough road, especially if you're in excruciating pain. I know I was, and 9 times out of 10, people are not going to understand you if they have not went through it themselves, the constant pain. And you can't even think clear when you have excruciating pain like that, from your head to your toes. The reality of death crosses your mind on a daily because you're facing it, and you're thinking, you know what everybody says, you know what the Bible says, you know what thoughts are, but no one's went there and came back and told you. So there's a lot of different thoughts that have come through your head while you're going through this. For me personally, I got really close. I had a close relationship with God, but I got even closer this time around through prayer and knowing the power of prayer. And so it's important for caretakers to be patient. Again, you're going through a lot of different emotions, especially when you're in a lot excruciating pain. It's important for those trying to support the families to know that when one has cancer, the whole family is dealing with it, from the children to the sisters to especially the husband or the wife. You're dealing with it firsthand and seeing the person cry, seeing the person, and then it hits you financially because it was not cheap. I did holistic. The first time it was $150,000. The family got together. The second time, it was me and my husband and God, and that's what it was. I mean, those bills were high. Those hospital bills came up to over, oh my God, had to be, if I were to add it up this time, probably about the same, about 125, okay, for that. And including the holistic stuff, a whole nother price, okay? It's not cheap. So I went plant-based back again totally because I saw it healing me. I also did a serious parasite cleanse because for me personally, in my research, I see that cancer and diabetes, I also had diabetes that came on. My kidneys start to fail. So I had tubes in my back, excruciating, so the kidneys would not fail and could get the urine out. And my blood pressure, because the kidneys were failing, the blood pressure was going up high to 280. It was 200 over 180, okay? And I have all that. I journaled that. And I was like, not again, because I had worked with cancer clients for 20-something years and aided in helping them, about 75% success rate. So sometimes knowing what you're going through sometimes can be very hard, but it's good to go ahead and know and apply it. And I said, I can't play. I really have to live this life 100% again. No meat for me. The parasite thing is a big thing because the parasites grow in the body. They feed off of sugar, they feed off of milk, they feed off of negative emotions. They feed, and they grow in the body like cockroaches. So personally, I was dealing with that and trying to get them at bay. And the best way to do that was plant-based herbs. I use Pardiarco, nettle, and soursop, dandelion. I use a lot of different things, but for the parasites, I used I intermittent fast a lot in the morning. I do it every day now. I don't eat till 12 to 6, sometimes 12 to 2. It allows the body to heal, and because the body is, I found out, obviously is acid. We all have cancer, and so, but it activates in an acid body. It goes crazy in an acidic body. It can take us out in an acidic body. So the best way I knew was to alkaline. And I looked at Bible scriptures, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and they refused the meat. They refused the delicacies. Because when you really think of meat, even though they drain the blood, really think about this. Really think about this. You cannot, I asked a butcher, you cannot drain blood fully from meat. And in that is all of the parasites and stuff to the animal. It is dead. So the Bible said to abstain from blood in your body. That's just my personal viewpoint of it. So we're still eating it when we're eating the meat, and then they're putting all this chemicals and pumping it up, and it's dead. It's dead flesh, and so it takes forever to digest in our system. So I just used common sense and said, you know what? When I'm doing the plant-based, I noticed my sugar went from, 400 to 90. My blood pressure went from the 200 over 180 to 110 over 73. I lost 60 pounds of waist, and I'm still on this journey. I still am on this journey, okay, for the rest of my life, and so if you're scared, don't feel bad that you're scared, you guys. Those with cancer, do not be scared. There's a lot of journal, pray, talk to those that are positive, and sometimes you want to be left alone because people ask you the question, how do you feel? And you're feeling bad every day, and they mean well, some of them mean well, but I found myself, just in prayer because, it's hard too sometimes for your mate to understand, for those around you. It's hard for them to see you crying or in pain and suffering all the time. But you, as a person going through it, you can't jump out of your body. So it really came down to, do you want to get well? It really comes down to researching and being my own advocate and really researching, who's really healing from this? What is chemo? I found out it was mustard gas. I personally don't want mustard gas in my body. If you really know that God's herbs heal, you have to know how to use it properly and apply it with wisdom and do it. 90% of the people are not willing to do that. So it takes major change to go ahead and do these things. And, for those that have made it through, I applaud you. For those that are suffering, I pray for you still because it is very difficult. But for me, I'm on the other end. I'm not in pain anymore. And, I'm on my healing journey. They did have to cut open my stomach because that tumor was not shrinking fast enough. It was laying against my kidneys and trying to shut it down. So I do have a split right there that's healing, that I'm putting aloe vera gel, drinking aloe vera. And everybody's situation is different, but I do know that we are all made from the Creator, and the Creator knows what's best for our body. Although our situation, some may need surgery, some may not. Some may be able to avoid it. So, I just say that get a very good holistic practitioner. Have open communication with your doctors in alignment, and make sure that you do the research for yourself. You do the prayers. You get your stuff in order. There are times where, a person is going to pass, and I think it's important for the family to talk with them, to say how you feel, for you to talk with the family and not to avoid them. This is my thoughts, part 1. I have a lot more to say. Take care. Stay tuned.